Commander Zexathara of the Valonian High Council stared at the datapad with all four of her crystalline eyes, certain there had been some catastrophic error in the Academy's simulation protocols. The numbers simply could not be correct. "Run the diagnostic again," she commanded, her translucent wings fluttering with barely contained agitation. Her aide, a nervous Killian named Breetap, manipulated the holographic interface with trembling tentacles. "Commander, I've run it 17 times. The results are consistent. The human cadets completed the Kythera gauntlet in 47 minutes and 32 seconds. Zexthara's breathing apparatus wheezed in what could only be described as disbelief. The Kythera gauntlet was the Academy's ultimate test, a simulation designed to push even the most elite cadets of the strongest species to their absolute limits. It typically took teams of Dreknari warriors, with their enhanced combat reflexes and titanium-reinforced bones, nearly 4 hours to complete. The record holder, a squad of cybernetically enhanced Nexus operatives, had managed it in 3 hours and 47 minutes. "Impossible," she whispered, then louder. "Absolutely impossible. What species could complete a scenario that combines zero-gravity combat, resource management under extreme duress, xenobiological hazard navigation, and temporal paradox resolution in under an hour?" "Well," Breetap consulted his notes nervously. "According to the Academy records, they're called humans." This particular group listed their training background as Tuesday afternoon drill session, Fire Station 19, Brooklyn, New York. The datapad clattered to the floor as Zexathara's grip failed entirely. 3 decks below, in the Academy's combat simulation chamber, a group of 5 humans was casually discussing their performance while stripping off the standard-issue alien combat gear. "Not bad," said Captain Sarah Chen, checking her chronometer. "Though we probably could have shaved off another 10 minutes if Rodriguez hadn't stopped to help that simulated civilian." Lieutenant Marcus Rodriguez shrugged as he pulled off his helmet. "Couldn't leave the little guy behind. Besides, it was just a training run," Sergeant Emma Kowalski snorted. "Training run? Did you see the looks on those alien instructors' faces? I think they expected us to die in the first 5 minutes." Corporal James Wright was examining one of the energy weapons with professional interest. "Decent kit, though the targeting system is way too complicated. Who needs 17 different firing modes? Point and shoot, that's all you need." The 5th member of their team, Chief Petty Officer David Kim, was already running diagnostics on his gear for their next session. "Speaking of which, what's on the schedule for tomorrow?" Captain Chen consulted her datapad. "Let's see. Impossible scenario Delta 7. Survival in hostile. Environment with limited resources while defending non-combatants from superior force. Standard difficulty rating of 9.8 out of 10. Sounds like a slow Wednesday," Kim remarked. Their casual conversation was interrupted by the chamber door sliding open with a sharp hiss. Commander Zexathara strode in, flanked by what appeared to be half the Academy's senior staff. Representatives from dozens of species crowded behind her: the scaled Reptani, the energy-based Luminars, the hive-minded collective drones, and others that the humans couldn't immediately identify. "Humans," Zexathara began, her voice carrying the weight of official authority. "There has been a grave error." Captain Chen stepped forward. "Ma'am, your simulation results are clearly fraudulent. No species in the known galaxy possesses the capability to complete the Kythera gauntlet in under 4 hours, let alone 47 minutes. We must investigate this unprecedented breach of Academy protocols." The humans exchanged glances. Rodriguez cleared his throat. "With respect, Commander, we didn't cheat. We just did what we were trained to do." "Trained?" A new voice emerged from the crowd, a tall, ethereal being that seemed to be composed of shifting starlight. "What manner of training could possibly prepare organic beings for such an ordeal?" Kim stepped forward. "Standard emergency response training, sir. Back home we're firefighters, paramedics, and rescue workers. Tuesday afternoons we run disaster scenarios, building collapses, chemical spills, multi-casualty incidents, that sort of thing. Under pressure with limited resources, while people's lives hang in the balance," Kowalski added. "It's just what we do." The assembled aliens murmured among themselves in dozens of different languages. Finally, a voice translated through the universal communicator. "They claim this level of performance is routine?" Wright nodded. Pretty much. Though usually we don't get fancy energy weapons and gravity manipulation gear. Mostly it's just hoses, axes, and whatever we can improvise. Improvise? Zexthara's wings had stopped fluttering entirely. Yeah, Chen said. Make do with what you've got. Adapt. Overcome. Every emergency is different. So you learn to think on your feet. An elderly Draknari general pushed through the crowd, his scarred hide telling the story of countless battles. Young humans, he growled. Do you comprehend that the scenario you just completed was designed to be unsurvivable? It was created by combining the worst elements of actual catastrophes from 17 different wars across the galaxy. Rodriguez shrugged. Tuesday in Brooklyn's usually worse. The silence that followed was profound. Finally, the Starlight being spoke again. Perhaps, it said slowly. We have been approaching galactic defense from the wrong perspective entirely. Commander Zexthara looked at her datapad one more time, then at the humans who were already gearing up for their next training session. What do you call the scenario scheduled for tomorrow? Captain Chen checked her schedule. According to this, it's called the Omega Protocol, survival of galactic civilization itself. And your assessment? The human captain considered this for a moment. Well, it's scheduled for a Thursday morning slot, so it should be interesting. We usually like to start the weekends with something challenging. As the crowd of alien observers filed out, still murmuring in disbelief, Zexthara remained behind. Humans, she said quietly. Perhaps you could share some of your training methods with our other cadets. Sure thing, Kim replied cheerfully. Though you might want to start them off easy. Maybe a simple house fire or a train derailment before we move on to the really complicated stuff. The really complicated stuff? School field trips, all 5 humans said in unison, and Zexthara's translator couldn't quite capture the mixture of horror and determination in their voices. For the first time in her career, the commander began to understand why the rest of the galaxy called them the impossible species.